The Bible speaks of a paradise lost, a garden of abundance and beauty called Eden. Genesis chapter 2, verses 10 to 14 describes a river flowing out of Eden, parting into four headwaters: the Pishon, Gihon, Tigris, and Euphrates. While the Tigris and Euphrates are well-known rivers in the Middle East, the locations of the Pishon and Gihon remain a mystery. Could these elusive rivers point us towards an African Eden? Genesis chapter 15 verse 18 offers another intriguing clue. God promises Abraham a vast territory from the river of Egypt to the great river, the river Euphrates. This land grant encompasses a vast swathe of the ancient world, including parts of modern-day Egypt, Sudan, Ethiopia, and even further south. Could this be the land where Eden once flourished? The Bible often uses geographical markers to define sacred spaces. The prominence of rivers in the descriptions of both Eden and the Promised Land suggests their vital importance. If we follow these watery paths, they might lead us to a deeper understanding of Africa's biblical significance. The identity of the Gihon River, mentioned in Genesis chapter 2 verse 13, has sparked centuries of debate among scholars and theologians. Some believe it to be a mythical river lost to the sands of time. Others point to the Nile River, the lifeblood of Africa, as a likely candidate. The Nile, with its source in the Ethiopian highlands, flows northwards through Sudan and Egypt, finally emptying into the Mediterranean Sea. Its annual floods brought fertility to the land, sustaining civilizations for millennia. This life-giving aspect aligns with the description of the river flowing from Eden, which watered the whole land. The Gihon is described in Genesis as encompassing the whole land of Cush. Cush, in ancient Hebrew texts, often refers to the region south of Egypt, encompassing parts of modern-day Sudan, Ethiopia, and Somalia. This geographical connection further strengthens the argument for the Nile being the biblical Gihon. Could this mighty river, so central to African life and history, be the same one that once flowed through the Garden of Eden? The biblical narrative weaves together the stories of the Middle East and Africa, connecting them through the flow of rivers. The Euphrates, a prominent river in Mesopotamia, finds its counterpart in the Nile, the artery of Africa. These two rivers, though geographically distant, were vital trade routes and cultural corridors in the ancient world. Goods, ideas, and people flowed between these regions, creating a network of interconnectedness that spanned continents. The biblical account of the Queen of Sheba's visit to King Solomon in Jerusalem, found in 1 Kings chapter 10, exemplifies this interconnectedness. The queen, believed to have hailed from the kingdom of Saba in present-day Ethiopia or Yemen, embarked on a long journey to meet Solomon, drawn by his wisdom and wealth. This encounter speaks to the vibrant exchange between Africa and the Middle East in ancient times. Could this interconnectedness point to a shared history, a time when the rivers of Africa and the Middle East flowed from a common source, the Garden of Eden? Section 4. Cradle of Humanity, Unearthing Our Past in Africa. Africa holds a unique place in the story of humanity. It is here in the Great Rift Valley of East Africa that archaeologists have unearthed the earliest known fossils of our human ancestors, dating back millions of years. These groundbreaking discoveries have earned Africa the title of the Cradle of Humanity, the birthplace of our species. This scientific evidence aligns with the biblical narrative, which places the Garden of Eden, the origin point of humanity, in the East, as mentioned in Genesis 2, verse 8. The book of Genesis describes Adam and Eve, the first humans, as being created in God's image. This concept of a shared ancestry resonates deeply with the scientific understanding of human evolution, which traces our lineage back to a common ancestor in Africa. From the dusty plains of the Rift Valley to the pages of the Bible, the evidence suggests a shared origin story, one that binds humanity together in a common narrative of creation and connection. Section 5, the land of Cush, a biblical kingdom in Africa. The Bible mentions the land of Cush numerous times, often in connection with Egypt and the surrounding regions. Cush, in biblical geography, refers to a kingdom located south of Egypt, encompassing parts of modern-day Sudan, Ethiopia, and Eritrea. This ancient kingdom played a significant role in biblical history. The Bible describes Cush as a land of wealth and power, known for its gold, precious stones, and skilled warriors. The prophet Isaiah even speaks of a time when Cush will stretch out its hands to God, as found in Isaiah 18 verse 7, suggesting its eventual inclusion in God's plan of salvation. The biblical references to Cush challenge the notion that Africa remained isolated from the major events and empires of the ancient world. Instead, they paint a picture of a continent deeply entwined with the narrative of the Bible, a place where kingdoms rose and fell, prophets preached, and God's presence was felt. Section 6. The Queen of Sheba, a royal visit from Africa. The story of the Queen of Sheba's visit to King Solomon is one of the most intriguing and enduring tales in the Bible. This enigmatic queen, renowned for her wisdom, wealth, and beauty, journeyed from her distant kingdom to meet Solomon, the wise king of Israel. While her exact origins are debated, many scholars believe she hailed from the kingdom of Saba, located in present-day Ethiopia or Yemen. Her journey, described in 1 Kings 10, would have taken her across vast distances, traversing deserts, mountains, and seas. The queen's visit was not merely a social call. She came seeking Solomon's wisdom, engaging him in philosophical and theological discussions. She also brought with her lavish gifts of gold, spices, and precious stones, demonstrating the wealth and sophistication of her kingdom. The Queen of Sheba's story highlights the interconnectedness of Africa and the Middle East in ancient times. It also challenges us to look beyond traditional narratives and recognize the significant role that African kingdoms played in shaping the course of history.